And you got to look at the team that had a better draft, I think, than the Giants were the Eagles, and they're still the top dogs in that division. And I don't know in what world, maybe it's the Niners, quarterback questions. We talked about Seahawks being a sneaky team to maybe, you know, put the kibosh on them just a little bit and douse their hopes with some water. But I mean, hell of a draft by Howie. Again, like they didn't let up even a little bit. And his strategy over the last couple of drafts, it's not some crazy thing, right? It's pretty simple. He watched Georgia put together one of the best defenses in college football history. So he went and grabbed, what, as many of those guys as he could. That was literally the strategy. Over the last 2 drafts alone, the Eagles have taken 5 defensive players from Georgia, 5, including 3 of them in the first round. So basically, they could end up having half of that historic 2021 national championship winning defense starting for them at some point soon. And it's not just, you know, it's not just like novelty. These guys are all dominant players, and they all fit significant needs. And I do think there's something to say about chemistry and having that carry over as being sort of a benefit here. Jalen Carter, there's a massive hole, right, with Javon Hargrave, and he leaves in free agency. Nolan Smith, who Von Miller loves, he gives the Eagles defense another big-time guy off the edge, and Ringo gives them secondary depth that they really need because we're like, who's going to fill in that C.J. Gardner-Johnson sort of situation to the Lions? So I don't know what you think about this, but, you know, it's a job well done to keep grabbing these Georgia guys. I like it.
Yeah, and you even look at what they did last year, grabbing a guy like Nakobe Dean, who slipped a little bit. Some people had as a first-round pick. They got him in the 3rd round. And, you know, you talked about a lot this offseason, the people that they lost, like losing a TJ Edwards. Now Nakobe Dean has a year under his belt, was able to sit behind him, can step into that starting role for them. Yeah. So there is a lot of talent that they were able to snag from the Bulldogs, and that defense is going to be something special this year.
He didn't do what I wanted him to do, of course, which was get Budda Baker or draft Bijan, who could not draft, or trade for Derrick Henry. That's another thing we're like, oh, snap, that'd be fun. But he did make a splash on the trade market. Maybe it wasn't as big as those splashes would have been, but let's not pretend that getting DeAndre Swift isn't a great thing. He's super talented. It's a deal with the Lions that they made. And yes, he's been a bit banged up, but when he is healthy, he's super dynamic, and he gives the Eagles, you know, the starting running back that they've sort of been missing since they, you know, parted ways with Miles Sanders. So it brings it all full circle, and I'm going to give you a guess on where DeAndre went to college. That's right, the Bulldogs taking over Philadelphia. And from Bulldogs to Bengals, Hamilton will have you back in the show. We got Darius Butler and Paige coming up